now is this a testament to Japan and how deep this roster is and how good the bench players are? Or is it uncovering something that Indonesians need to be very worried about with this team, which is inconsistency? We get a performance like they did against China, which was a strong performance, and then they followed up with something like this. And they've done that a lot in this World Cup qualifying campaign, and it worries me. It worries me because you want consistency.
Yeah. And the Socceroos, we'll see you there. We'll see you there. We'll finish off with a match we have to talk about. Now, one caveat. Okay, Indonesia fans, not just yet, but in a few days, we will put a video out about what's next for Indonesia, because after this match, there is a lot to take away, guys. And, there was sort of the jubilant, the jubilant party after the last match. And then Japan said, wait a second, boys and girls and everyone out there, don't forget about us. We lost the last match to Australia, but don't forget about us. And that's what happened, Rahi, in this match.
Yeah, it was a lesson, right? A lesson. And Japan said, hey, congratulations, you're into the next round, but you got some ways to go. There's a lot of learning to be done. And Japan did this without no Mitoma, right? Without some of their deadliest players. So it's an incredible Japanese team. They were on fire throughout. But Roy, we have to talk about the goalkeeping. We talked before about Martin Pass and how good he is. In this game, Odero, he struggled big time. And I think, for me, it's clear, despite his club experience, Martin Pass is the number one for Indonesia.
100%. And we talked about this in the past videos, how a lot of Indonesian fans prefer Odero because of where he plays, of the teams he's played on, and there's not that global respect for Major League Soccer. So Indonesians see FC Dallas or this team in Italy, they're going to go with the team in Italy 100 out of 100 times. But the fact of the matter is Martin Pass right now is a better goalkeeper for Indonesia. He hasn't had a game like that for Indonesia. He's had a play or two, but he recovered from those in the same game. Odero was a very, very, very poor player for Indonesia today when they needed him to step up and to hold down the fort, because this could have been 2-0.
Yeah.
This could have been 2-0 if not for bad goalkeeping mistakes, and that was rough to watch. But my concern right now is this a testament to Japan and how deep this roster is and how good the bench players are? Or is it uncovering something that Indonesians need to be very worried about with this team, which is inconsistency? We get a performance like they did against China, which was a strong performance, and then they followed up with something like this. And they've done that a lot in this World Cup qualifying campaign, and it worries me. It worries me because you want consistency.
Yeah.
And remember, last window as well, right? They get the big win, but then the massive loss to Australia. So we've talked about Kluivert and what he's brought. But so far against Australia and Japan, it's been like demolitions by the opponent, right? And that's not a good sign. So Kluivert has to figure out how to play superior opponents. Somehow against inferior opponents, they've been good with him as manager. But defensively, they've dropped off against the Australia and the Japans.
Yeah. And there's going to be some tough teams. You're going to have the Qatar in there. You're going to have Saudi Arabia maybe again. You're going to have, the Emirates is there. There's not easy teams that they're going to have to play to get through to the World Cup. So I think a lot to be figured out between now and then. Anyway, for everyone out there, it's been a fascinating World Cup qualifiers from Asia. And we just are excited to talk about all these teams between now and October when we come back. But in the meantime, for everyone out there, keep watching the beautiful game. Rahi, you got anything to say? We're going to close up shop here.
Thank you. It's been incredible. These Asian qualifiers have been incredible. So much fun to watch, so much passion, so much spirit, so many good stories, so many wonderful things have happened in these qualifiers, and we can't wait for the next round, Roy.
Yeah, it's been beautiful. It's been wonderful. I really feel for my Palestinian brothers in this match, man. I can't say that enough. And I'm concerned for Indonesia and what this means for the next round. But I do believe the Garuda will be back. I do believe they're due for another good performance. So let's see what happens. It's going to be interesting.
Yes, and for all the powerhouses from Asia, Japan, Australia, and all the teams that have gotten into the World Cup directly, represent Asia well. We'll talk more about your team soon. Everyone out there, keep the standings. That's what it looks like here with the standings here. This is how it all finished up. The blue is the next round, that the teams that made it through to the next round, the Emirates, Qatar, Iraq, Oman, Saudi Arabia, Indonesia. We'll talk about all that. And of course, the teams in green, or the ones that made the World Cup. We are adding today the Aussies, Rahi, that made the World Cup. But before we get into all that, we have to talk about one of the biggest stories in football that happened today is the Palestinian national team. Now, regardless of however you feel about the situation in the world, politically, all of that kind of stuff, you have to say it's so incredible what this team has done for the people out there. And they were this close to making it. And we have to talk about it because there was a lot of controversy involved with them not making it through.
This is so heartbreaking. It's hard not to get emotional about this game and what happened on the field here. This team was playing in Amman, in Jordan. There's so many Palestinians in Jordan, of course, displaced, who are there. So you could feel the entire country there rooting for this to happen. And think about what this team has been through, playing all their games effectively in a neutral site and having to do what they've done. I don't know how, facility-wise, what they've been able to train, how they've been able to do that. And look at what this team has done in qualifiers. They're the only team. They took 2 points off Korea, Roy. They tied Korea at Korea's home in Seoul. Can you imagine that? This team has fought, and to come this close, to play so well, to take the lead, to be effectively 30 seconds away from the next round of the World Cup, and to have it taken away from you on the softest penalty I have seen in a long time. And to say that that's the reason they don't go to the next round, it's so heartbreaking, Roy, and it's shocking.
Yep. I'm really heartbroken to see this because it's a team, like you said, that's fought so hard to be here and got here against all odds. They played everything in a neutral location. They didn't have a home game. Like, this is a team that deserved to win this game, and it was ripped from their hands by this referee. This referee got it all wrong, in my opinion. Yes, I was watching this on like 240p video quality, so I couldn't really see what was going on half the time. It was so blurry, but that simply wasn't a penalty. I don't know how else to put it. I watched it 20 times. That simply is not a penalty. And to get eliminated in the last second of the game due to a bad referee call, this is heartbreaking. And I don't think it's people are going to be talking about, oh, the ref was paid off. They got a red card. I think it was just a really, really bad refereeing decision at the end of the day.
Terrible. You have to be so confident, right, as a referee in that moment to make that call. Why? With 30 seconds left, because what happens then is VAR doesn't have enough to overturn it. But if it wasn't called on the field side, there's no way that VAR is going to go back and refer it and say it's a penalty. Why do you call that? Why do you put the game in the referee's hands, in your own hands? I don't get it.
I want to make a little statement about football. You know, football is a beautiful thing. Sometimes you see some beautiful stories right out there in terms of just empowering people and all those kind of things. And it also has a very dark side, which is experienced today, where it can be very cruel at times. And I still think the officials and referees still have too much power in this particular point in time, despite all the VAR, despite all the situation. You're absolutely right, both of you. In this situation, what you do as a ref is you let it be. And if VAR tells you, hey, check out this situation,